Why is it important to set goals for yourself? By the time this video is over, you're going to discover why setting goals is a psychological need and how you can game that fact to be more successful. What if I were to tell you that you naturally set goals all the time, but you may not realize it? We're going to dig in a little bit deeper to that point. You're going to discover why it seems easier for some people to accomplish goals than other people. And then lastly, you're going to identify the positive characteristics of a good goal. I hope you're ready. We're going to do some great goal setting today. Let's get started. First and foremost, without goal setting, mankind would cease to exist. Think about it. Every single day, people set goals to go to work, to make a certain amount of money so they can pay their bills, to take care of their children. We're always thinking about the future so that we can plan against it. And we set goals so that we can have a positive future. So these are things that are constantly going on, and they've been going on around us our entire lives, but we may not have really thought about it. The other thing is setting goals is actually a very natural phenomena. Think back to when you were a child. There's probably another little kid that said something along the lines of, if you step on a crack, you'll break your mama's back. Or kids will turn anything into a game to see if they're capable of jumping so far, or doing this thing, or achieving this thing. And so naturally, it's just a part of the human existence to create goals all the time. That doesn't mean we're good at them. It doesn't mean that we actually accomplish them, but we're constantly setting goals. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper into psychology. And the first thing we're going to talk about is self-determination theory. Self-determination theory basically states that all humans basically have three psychological needs. They include autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy means the ability to be able to control your own destiny, or at least to make your own decisions. Competence means we want the ability to believe that we're good at certain things, that we can achieve certain things. And relatedness means how these things actually connect with each other. So goal setting allows us as humans to satisfy these needs by providing autonomy and choosing our objectives, fostering competence while we achieve our goals, and promoting relatedness through shared goals that involve other people. Think about goals that we have at a particular organization. You might have hundreds, even thousands of people that are all working towards the same aim. That's the relatedness piece. The other interesting thing to make note of is that setting and achieving goals actually releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and reward. The other interesting thing is that dopamine reinforces behaviors, making individuals more likely to repeat the behaviors that previously released dopamine. We're going to pause this for just a moment, and I want you to think about the last goal that you achieved that you're really proud of. There's no goal that's too big or too small. It could have been taking a nap when you haven't given yourself a lot of time off lately. It could have been hitting a certain goal in your business or at work. But whatever that goal is that you've achieved, go ahead and drop that in the comments section. I'd love to see what you're out there achieving, because we want to root for you as well. We want to give you that little dose of dopamine as we celebrate your success. So we know that from a psychological and even a physical standpoint, goal setting is good for us. It accomplishes some of the things that we need to be happy psychologically, and it also releases cool brain chemicals like dopamine that keeps us feeling really good. But in addition to that, we want to make sure that we're setting goals that actually make sense. So what makes a goal a good goal? What makes a goal a SMART goal? Well, literally the acronym SMART tells us exactly what makes a goal a good goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely or time-bound. What that means is that we want to make sure that our goals are specific. So not just something like, I want to be healthier, or I want to get a raise, or I want the business to get bigger. You want it to be specific, and then that ties in with measurable. So you want to make sure that you attach numbers to it. In addition to that, you want to make sure it's achievable. I like to say that goals should be a realistic stretch. So if you know that you're capable of jumping 4 feet in the air, you know for a fact you can do that, you probably don't want to set a goal of jumping 8 feet in the air by next week. That's not reasonable. But if you add in maybe 4 inches, that's extremely reasonable. And then maybe another inch to grow on. That's that stretch that I talk about. So you want something that's achievable, but a realistic stretch. Now, you might think, oh, this is pretty obvious, but what's the point of setting a goal if it's not really going to have an impact on your life or your organization later? So as you set goals, don't just be tricked into setting a specific goal because someone else you admire that's near you has the same goal. If it doesn't apply to you, or if it's not going to be helpful, Spend your energy on another better goal. And then time-bound or timely just means that you just want to make sure there's a time limit on your goal. When do you want to achieve it by? When are you starting it? So we're just bounding it by time. So to give you an idea of why goal setting is so important, if I asked you right now to take your arms and stretch them out as far as you can stretch them. So get your arms all the way back and then look and see where they fall on the wall on either side of you. Okay, so go ahead, stretch your arms as far as you can out and see where they fall on the wall. All right? Okay, make a mental note. Now, I want you to stretch your arms at least 10% further in either direction. Go ahead and do it. Now, I'm willing to bet that if you look at where your arms are at right now, they're further than where they were before. How do we explain this? It's because we set a goal. Humans tend to do a pretty good job at whatever task we decide to do, but setting a goal makes us stretch beyond what our normal is. And so that's what allows us to actually grow. That's why goal setting is important. When it comes to setting goals, one of the other things that you might want to consider doing to reinforce your likelihood of following through is have accountability partners along the way. So some people have things called masterminds where they get together with other like-minded people and they set goals, and maybe weekly or monthly or quarterly they meet up, they see how far they've gotten with their goals. Sometimes they even exchange information that will help them achieve their goals faster. I've been a part of a few different masterminds. When I think back to one of the masterminds I was a part of at the beginning of my professional speaking career, it easily was responsible for propelling me into this industry because I was surrounded by people that were hungry. We were all in similar places except for one person that was kind of ahead of us. And so we were all working towards developing our professional speaking careers. As a result of our weekly meetups where we were holding each other accountable, everybody managed to move forward a little bit every single week. So you may want to consider getting a mastermind group or having some type of accountability partners as you're creating goals for yourself. The last step is I want you to go and be great. Believe that you can expand beyond where you're at now, but also have a positive mindset in general. So you might have to start saying mantras every day, like for instance me, every single day when I wake up, one of the first things I do is I start reciting my mantra. So all the different things I'm grateful for, and some of the things I'm grateful for, I say them as if they've already happened, even though they haven't occurred yet. But it's something I'm programming into my mind so that every day my actions will line up with that particular goal. At the end of the day, that's really what we're aiming for. We're trying to ensure that our actions are lining up with our goal. So repeating our goals, making sure that they're SMART goals, and having accountability partners just ensures that we're more likely to be successful. Speaking of being successful in achieving goals, I do have a free gift for you. If you look in the description of this video, you'll notice there's a Future Ready Playbook. This playbook was designed especially for you to help you learn how to plan for the future from a futurist perspective. So whether you have personal goals, professional goals, or even organizational goals, there's worksheets and activities that are going to work you through the process so that you're being strategic and planning for the future so that you have the best possible outcome no matter what the future throws at you. So if you haven't already downloaded it, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download it right now.